So for me, I did not do the myomectomy. I remember when the second doctor recommended that for me, I advocated for myself, and I told her that my husband ain't here yet, so we're not going that route. Had I agreed to that procedure, I would have always been prone to having C-sections only. And I didn't want that because I do eventually want to have children, and I do want to experience, pushing out the baby. So I chose not to. And if I would have done the myomectomy, there's no way I could reverse it. Even if I wanted to push a child, according to the doctor, I would have shattered or blew up something in my uterus. So I didn't want that. So I chose to get a third opinion. So the procedure that I had done, which is why it's so important to advocate for yourself, get second, third, fourth, fifth opinions, as expensive as it may be, do it. Don't be afraid to advocate for yourself. So what I did was the hysteroscopy, basically where they go in with a camera, and they go in with a vacuum, and they remove the fibroid. Okay. Now, because I don't even think the doctor knew what she was going to see. I don't know if y'all saw my YouTube channel, but I put everything in there. We weren't able to get everything out, so I actually have to do this procedure all over again in a couple of weeks. But the next time around, it's going to be easier. So I chose the less invasive route. If you have a doctor, I chose the less invasive route. Thank God for my doctor, who, I don't know if my doctor's a Christian or not, but I just know that her mission and vision in this season is to help people have children. She was one of those individuals, they used to deliver babies, but now her job is to simply help individuals have kids, IVF. She helped actually one of her doctors have a child. So yeah, so that's her thing. That's her baby. So so I did the hysteroscopy. That's what I did. So less invasive. Feel free to ask your doctors about it. If they don't want to do it, try to get another opinion. If you guys need the doctor, I posted it on my stories. I also posted it in my my feed. Go ahead, screenshot that. Y'all know I'm not going to gatekeep. So I've been getting a lot of messages of women being afraid of going to the doctors. Listen, the Bible says that if you tell this mountain to be removed, it shall be removed. When I found out that my body was changing, okay, because I've never dealt with pain before. When I found out that my body was changing in terms of fatigue, heavy bleeding, I got on it right away. I didn't wait. So ladies, do not wait. Don't wait till things get worse. Don't mess with fibroids. Fibroids not your friend. Fibroids are not your friend. Like, they're not your friends. They are the devil. They're demons. I don't know where they came from. I don't know why they attack us so much. But do not entertain fibroid. Do not. The Bible says that I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. God has given you boldness. God has given you boldness. God has given you the strength to go before these doctors and advocate for yourself. Do not let fibroid take your uterus. No, don't let it. Especially if you desire children, do not let fibroid just sit in your uterus like that, or your ovaries. No, don't give no way to the enemy. Don't give no way to the devil. You take authority over your body. You command these things to shrink. If you're eating right, be proactive. Go to these doctors. Advocate for yourself. Advocate for your coochie. Don't let people operate on you, because like I said, I had a doctor that wanted to operate on me like the next day, like the next week. I'm like, no, ma'am, I ain't doing it, So don't give no way to the enemy just to sit inside of you and take away your destiny. No. I understand a lot of you guys desire marriage and stuff, and y'all desire relationship, and all that is great, because I want it too. But the last thing I want is to enter, I don't know, a marriage. Not that, I want to choose my word wisely, but right now in my singleness, I'm focused on assignment. I'm also focusing on my health, okay? And the last thing I want is to enter a marriage or relationship knowing that I have all these complications and I didn't do anything about it when I had the time, Right now, there's nothing but space and opportunity that's between me and these fibroids. So if I know that I have them, I'm going to get them out. I'm not going to wait till I'm married to handle these issues. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to take care of them. That's it. So give no place to the devil. Do what you got to do. Ask all the questions. Go on ChatGPT. I know I was using ChatGPT like crazy. I literally put in the question box, hey, what are some questions that I should be asking the doctors prior to surgery? And I made it very clear prior, like in the surgery room. I said, hey, y'all not removing my uterus, right? Nope. And I told him, listen, I told the nurse straight up, if you guys are trying to remove my uterus, I'm walking out. And then all the nurses look back like, yeah, I said it because what? What we doing? What are we doing? Okay, so I made it very clear that we are simply going in the vagina with a camera and a vacuum, and you guys are going to remove this fibroid. Y'all not going to touch my ovaries, and y'all not giving me no hysterectomy. Y'all not cutting me. Y'all don't give me no C-section to remove this thing. Camera and a vacuum. That's it. And that's exactly what I got. I wasn't playing with no doctors. I made my voice heard all in the OR. And I got what I wanted. Okay? Now, we wait. I'm doing post-op. I go back. I don't know when is my next surgery, part 2, but there is a part 2. Because we got 80%, and I'm happy with the 80%. Now, I have 20% left of the fibroid inside of me. And I do have 5. I have 5 fibroids. But this one was the one that was hurting me. It was sitting inside of my uterus. I think I have a picture of it, like on an ultrasound, not the actual picture. It was sitting inside of my uterus. So this is a copy, there's a, I'm going to try to see if I can find a picture for you all. But in your uterus, or when you guys take a picture of your uterus for single women that don't have kids, your uterus is supposed to be like a black shadow, like a black triangle, upside down triangle. And mine, you just had this massive fibroid just sitting in there, just hanging out. So like I said in my YouTube channel, she went in there and she was like, oh wow, like this thing was bigger than I expected. So, but y'all don't be afraid. Go in there. You know what you need to be afraid of? You be afraid of leaving these things inside of you and having the possibility of them being cancerous. Okay? Be afraid of that, but don't be afraid of, I don't want to know. No. You go in there, you educate yourself. Me, I'm just proactive. I just can't, I don't like being in pain, so I had to go find out, So it is because the reason why I was on the birth control is because you want to thin out your uterus lining. When your uterus lining is thin, the doctor, when she goes in there with her tools, she's able to identify what's a fibroid, what's a polyp, what's a cyst, you name it. She can see everything that's in your uterus, and it stabilizes the bleeding. So if you are recommended, or they recommended you to take the fibroids, take them. Otherwise, when they go in there, there's going to be a lot of bleeding, and your doctor won't be able to see your fibroid in order to remove it. So whatever the doctors tell you to do, if you trust their judgment, do it. For me, I trusted my doctor, although I did not like the side effects of the birth control, because again, I'm not using my coochie, So when I started spotting and I saw the brown spots, and then I started bleeding and I saw little, things here and there, I called them immediately, and they told me, okay, this was common when it came to taking birth control. you will bleed. You will see the dry blood. You will spot, you'll probably even have a little blood clot here and there, the shedding of the uterus lining. But it is mandatory. So if you trust your doctors, trust and know that God has given doctors wisdom, and I trusted my doctor. Even though I didn't like the side effect, I did not like the weight gain, but we had a good turnaround. When I woke up, it was ugly. It was ugly. I remember I remember the nurses saying, "Hey, we have a mover. We have a mover. We need help." So I guess when I was waking up from the anesthesia stuff, like I was moving my body, like I was trying to, I don't know, it was just so much pain. Like, I had burning in my coochie. I was dealing with cramps. My bladder was full. Then you had them, I had this thing in my arm, for the drip. So I was just all over the place. So waking up was disgusting. I'm not going to lie to you. It was bad, but, like I said, I had the less invasive surgery. I did not go the aggressive route. My doctor actually told me, hey, but, what else I was going to say? I forgot. But I had the less invasive surgery. So my doctor actually said, hey, if you wanted to go work out and go back to work, you could. I feel good, I wouldn't get behind a wheel right now because I do feel a little, I still have whatever that's in my system. So I wouldn't get behind a wheel, but I can walk. I feel the sting or the burning sensation when I pee. So I know that something was removed from inside of me. I can tell, like, it's like the left side of my coochie is hurting me. You know what I'm saying? I also feel a little soreness. There was a tube down in my mouth. So I know I had something in my mouth because the roof of my mouth is kind of like scratched up a little bit. But other than that, I feel good, guys. I'm not in any pain. That's why I said it's important to advocate for yourself. If you can get more than one opinion, do that. So that way you're not left with, scar tissues and, different stuff on you. Just try to avoid that as possible if you can. Now, a myomectomy is not bad. If that is the only option that you have because your fibroids have gotten aggressive, do that. Do that. Save yourself. Save your uterus. Don't be so quick to get your whole entire uterus removed. But I do understand that some people have to have a hysterectomy because it's either hysterectomy or their life, So do whatever you see fit that you